I'm Barry Alden. Thanks for coming to Mats and Pats to listen to me today. I grew up in Vancouver. I lived there for 35 years. In my preteen years, I was on Cartier Wharf. We had a houseboat on the west side, halfway down Cartier Wharf. I fished all over Vancouver. I went to work for the Parks Board, built a seawall, cut all the grass in Stanley Park, sprayed the roses, and I was in the Inner Harbour a lot, okay? When I moved to Mission in the 70s, I went back to the Inner Harbour and fished the seawall at night, catching coho. There's a major abundance of fish in the Inner Harbour, and there was a huge spring salmon, Chinook salmon run coming up Indian Arm at the tail end of the summer. The six-gilled sharks would come in from Tawas, 300 foot down. They would come into the Inner Harbour and lay in a 600-foot hole off of Belcarra, waiting for the Chinook salmon. These were salmon sharks. When I was living there from 44 to 49, I never saw any fish-eating killer whales in the harbour because they would clean up on the outside of the Lionsgate Bridge. We had tommy cod, we had pile perch, silver pile perch, we had rock cod, ratfish, mud sharks, skates off of Brockton Point. The skate hole was huge. I would take skates out of there 4 feet across. The wings were 4 feet across, and I would hand line them with cod lines when I was 6. I rode a square-ended pram, a 10-foot pram that my father acquired, a rowboat, hugging the shore past the 9 o'clock gun on the low tide, the ebb tide, out past Brockton Point and under the Lionsgate Bridge. And I trolled when the tide came in. On the rip tide, I would troll white rags for lingcod, up to 20-25 pound lingcod when I was 7. I rode all the way from Cartier Wharf, where the Bayshore Inn sits, to the Alberta Wheat Pool in a day, trolling line. Where the Bayshore Inn sits now, it was an infill. It would run the tide would run right up to Georgia Street in the old days. In 1948, you could see the bottom at the end of Cartier Wharf in 45 feet of water. Clearly, we could see everything down there.
Wow.
It's just about 2 feet, 3 foot visibility now. Everything has changed.
Well, and why are you concerned for the harbor today?
Well, because if these bitumen-laden tankers come out of Port Moody and there's a spill or a grounding or one ship hits another, bitumen goes to the bottom and it's never going to clean up. You twinned down to Port Moody, and the tankers are going to come in there under the Lionsgate Bridge, okay? And it'll destroy the aesthetic value of the Inner Harbour. Most tourists come to the Inner Harbour just to see it. I still say that there's too much oil in the atmosphere, and all the fish in the Fraser now can't come up the Fraser now. There was no pink run this year. So the future is not for oil. So that's my adverse opinion to too much oil in the atmosphere. If you want to comment on this, feel free. I'm Barry Alden.